Welcome to PC Banking, a complete banking system for FiveM. In this video, we'll cover the branch banking experience. 3 bank tiers, player accounts, debit and credit cards, ATM terminals, transfers, savings, loans, due payments, standing orders, shared accounts, societies, payroll, and admin tools. Then we'll move into the full phone app feature set. Players open the main banking UI from a bank branch. If OX target or QB target is running, they use the teller target prompt. On servers without a target resource, PC banking falls back to a simple proximity prompt, so players can press the interaction key near the configured teller spot. ATM terminals are separate from the full branch UI. Interacting with an ATM opens the dedicated ATM screen with card selection, PIN entry, balance, withdrawals, deposits, and statements. Using a card item shows a card overlay on the player's screen, which is useful for roleplay and identity-style card checks. On the first login, players register a new banking account using a username and password. The session is alive for the configured duration, which is 24 hours by default, after which users will need to do login again. Players can also enable two-factor authentication from the settings screen, which gives them an extra layer of protection in all banking-related interactions, including the login. When two-factor authentication is enabled, players receive a 6-digit OTP every time they try to log into their account and do other interactions like transferring money. Enabling two-factor authentication is advised as PC banking supports cross-account logins if players know the account username and password of another person and can result in unauthorized access if left unchecked. PC banking is built around 3 bank tiers. Fleeka is the neighborhood budget bank. Maze Bank is the corporate mid-tier. Pacific Standard is the flagship prestige bank. Fleeka is easy to access, has lots of branches, free everyday checking, lower limits, and simple products that work well for new players. Fleeka is where players start cleanly. Maze Bank is stronger for players who want better limits, more business-friendly products, and a mid-tier banking experience with moderate costs. It makes sense for players who are starting businesses, moving bigger amounts, using better cards, or building credit without going straight to the most expensive bank. Pacific Standard has the best rates, biggest limits, premium cards, and high-end products, but it also comes with higher fees and stricter requirements. That means choosing a bank actually matters. For server owners, this is important because banking becomes part of the economy design. Fleeka can stay friendly for new players, Maze can support growing businesses, and Pacific can be reserved for high-trust, high-value money movement. Not every bank branch has to offer every service. A full branch can offer deposits, withdrawals, transfers, cards, savings, and loans. A smaller branch can be limited to basic banking, such as deposits, withdrawals, transfers, or cards. For server owners, this is useful because branches can feel different. A small-town Fleeka can stay simple, while Maze Bank and Pacific Standard can provide the bigger financial services. Deposits move cash into the selected bank account. Players choose the account, type the amount, and confirm. Withdrawals move money from the account back into cash. Server owners can tune per transaction limits, daily limits, account limits, balance caps, and fees. These limits are what keep the economy from becoming too loose. Every deposit and withdrawal is logged, so players can review what happened later. Transfers let players move money in a few different ways. First, players can move money between their own accounts such as checking, savings, shared accounts, and business accounts. Second, they can send money to a saved contact. Third, they can paste an account number for a one-off payment. The transfer screen should make the player understand what is about to happen, which account money leaves from, who receives it, how much is being sent, and whether any fee or limit applies. Transfers can require an OTP if two-factor authentication is enabled. Transfers are also where the server's money rules become visible to the player. If an account is frozen over its daily cap, missing balance, or not allowed to send transfers, the payment is stopped instead of quietly breaking the economy. Contacts make repeated payments easier. A player can save someone by name and account number, then choose that contact for future transfers. This is useful for paying employees, friends, suppliers, landlords, or anyone the player sends money to often. Contacts can store account information, so players do not have to remember or retype account numbers every time. Savings accounts let players put money aside and earn interest over time. To open one, the player visits the bank that offers the savings tier they want, opens the savings tab, chooses the product, and makes the minimum opening deposit. Players can move money into or out of savings from the savings screen. Interest is credited on a recurring schedule. By default, the economy is tuned around roughly one in-game month per cycle, but server owners can speed that up or slow it down. Cards are real banking products tied to bank accounts. Debit cards pull money directly from a linked checking account. The entry debit card is iFruit Pay, with bank-specific upgrades like Fleeka Gold and Maze Card. Credit cards use a credit line instead. Maze Gold, Lombank Platinum, Shark Elite, and Pacific Black charge against debt, then bill the player each cycle. That difference matters. A debit card fails when the linked account cannot cover the payment. A credit card can still approve the spend until the credit line is used, but the player now owes the bank. To request a card, the player opens the Cards tab, picks a card, sets the required details, and confirms. If there is an issuance fee, it is deducted from the account. The card item is then added to the inventory with a unique number, last 4 digits, holder name, expiry, and linked bank. Using the item flashes the holographic card overlay onto the player's screen. This can be used for banking roleplay, counters, dealerships, or any situation where a player wants to show the card. Each card has its own detail screen. Players can set or change the PIN. PIN changes can require OTP if two-factor authentication is enabled. If a card is lost or stolen, the player can freeze it instantly. A frozen card rejects transactions until it is unfrozen. Players can adjust card limits up to that card's maximum. Higher tier cards allow bigger caps. Credit cards have a full life cycle. The player spends against the credit line, then the card bills on a regular cycle. The player needs to pay at least the minimum payment. If they leave a balance unpaid, interest is added, and their credit score gets affected. Autopay can deduct the minimum payment automatically when the billing cycle runs. If the player misses too many payments, the card can freeze. If they miss even more, the debt can be written off and recorded as a credit score scar. This makes credit cards useful without making them free money. ATM terminals let players handle quick banking without walking into a branch. At an ATM, players can deposit cash, withdraw cash, and check their balance. Using another player's card can be allowed if that card is in inventory, but the PIN still has to be correct. After too many wrong attempts, the card owner can be alerted. ATM terminals can belong to different banks. Branded ATM terminals belong to one bank, while generic ATM terminals can route to the nearest branch. If a player uses a card from one bank at another bank's ATM, an interbank fee can be charged. Each account can also have a number of free ATM withdrawals per cycle. Fleeka gives a small number of free withdrawals, while Pacific can be configured for unlimited free ATM use. Loans give players access to larger money goals without needing the full amount up front. There are 4 loan products: personal loans, vehicle loans, business loans, and property loans. Personal and vehicle loans are available everywhere. Business loans are available at Maze and Pacific. Property loans are reserved for Pacific Standard. Each loan product has its own range. Personal loans are smaller and easier. Vehicle loans are mid-sized. Business loans are larger and can require collateral. Property loans are the biggest, longest-term products and should feel like a serious financial commitment. To apply, the player picks the loan type, amount, term length, and payout account. The system checks the credit score, active loans, overdue EMI payments, collateral rules, and whether the selected account can receive the payout. If approved, the money is deposited into that account. The approval screen should make the obligation clear: how much the player receives, how long the term is, what the recurring EMI will be, and how much the loan will cost over time. A player can be denied for low credit score, too many active loans, existing overdue EMI payments, not enough eligible borrowing room, missing collateral, or an account that has been frozen by law enforcement. Credit score ranges from 300 to 900, and new accounts start at 650 by default. On-time loan repayments improve the score. Active credit card use can also help when the player pays properly. The score rewards proven repayment behavior over time. It is not just checking whether the player paid money back once. The system looks at the repayment pattern, so steady on-time payments are worth more than a rushed payoff. This means players cannot reliably farm credit by taking a loan and immediately paying it off over and over. Paying too early gives less score value because the loan was not actually carried through its expected schedule. Standing orders are recurring auto payments from one account to another person, business, or one of the player's own accounts. The player chooses the source account, recipient, amount, and frequency. The default options are daily, weekly, and monthly. A good standing order should be easy to understand later. The label tells the player what it is for, the source account shows where the money comes from, and the schedule shows when it will run again. Shared accounts let players pool money with friends, family, or roommates. Fleeka shared supports up to 5 members. Maze shared supports up to 8. Pacific shared supports up to 10. Shared account access is designed to avoid silent surprises. Depending on where the owner adds someone, the flow can use a phone request invite or a confirmation code. That confirmation step is important. A player should not silently become responsible for a shared account without seeing what is being added. Once added, members can be given roles that control whether they can view, deposit, withdraw, manage members, or perform higher trust actions. A deposit-only member can contribute money without spending it. A full member can use the account for normal payments. An admin can manage access. This lets a group share money without trusting every member with everything. The shared account history shows who moved money and why, so disputes can be handled from records instead of arguments. Society accounts back jobs and organizations. Job-locked societies are tied to framework jobs like police, EMS, and mechanic. Members can be added or removed automatically when their job changes. That means a police officer does not need a manual invite every time. If their job and grade match the society rules, the banking access can follow their job. Player-created societies are for gangs, businesses, government groups, and other organizations founded by players. Player-created societies are more flexible. The founder grows the organization by inviting members and assigning roles, rather than relying only on framework jobs. Server owners can add new job-locked societies in the society config. After restart, the system picks them up automatically. Payroll lets bosses pay members from society money. A one-shot payroll pays members right now. This is useful for quick job payouts after events, shifts, or business work. Scheduled payroll pays automatically on a recurring cadence. It can pay everyone or only members in a specific role or grade. Every payroll run is logged in the society history, so owners and admins can review who was paid and when. The phone homepage is the quick banking dashboard. Players can see balances across their accounts at a glance. The phone is cross-bank. It is not just one branch in smaller form. It gives the player a quick view of their money across banks and accounts. Quick actions let them jump into transfers, do payments, cards, and standing orders without opening the full branch UI. Recent activity shows the latest money movement, so the player can catch important changes immediately. The phone transfer screen lets players send money while they are away from a branch. They can send to a saved contact, they can send to a specific account number, and they can send to a nearby player without knowing the account number. Nearby transfers require the recipient to accept within a few minutes. No money moves until the recipient confirms. This is the phone-specific part of transfers. It is meant for face-to-face roleplay, paying someone standing next to you, splitting a bill, giving a quick refund, or paying a worker on the spot. The phone app also includes an admin oversight screen for investigation-style roleplay. Configured law enforcement jobs, like police or FBI, can search accounts and freeze suspect accounts when they have the required grade. A reason is required, and the affected player and admins can be notified. A frozen account can still be viewed, but it cannot send transfers, run standing orders, or approve card spending. Shared and business accounts can also be frozen if the server owner allows it. From the same phone admin area, law enforcement can also revert eligible transfers within a configurable time window. Every revert requires a reason and is logged. Both parties can be notified when a transaction is reversed. Only paired transfers can be reverted. Fees, cash deposits, interest, and loan payments are single-sided records, so they are not reversed through this tool. Server admins have a separate Phone Society Oversight tool. This screen uses ACE permission instead of in-game jobs because it is meant for trusted staff. Admins can monitor societies, adjust balances with a reason, run admin payrolls, add or remove members, and change roles. Whenever an admin action runs, affected members and the society owner can be notified. This script is available to purchase at pixel-craft.tbex.io. It is also available as part of our PC Pro subscription, which also contains numerous other scripts, MLOs, and resources providing you the maximum value for a reasonable price. That is it from our side, guys. Do like and subscribe for more such FiveM resources. See you in the next one.